About wooden ship models. Many people ask me, is that particular model scratch built or is it from a kit? The definition of scratch built has been bounced around among the people that do ship modeling for many, many years. To the real purist, a scratch model starts with growing your own trees. Every part on it must be handmade. You cannot buy virtually anything that goes on it other than to buy the rough stock to make nails or to cut or to grow your own wood, cut your own wood, things of that sort. That is taking it to an extreme. Other people say a scratch built model starts with a set of drawings and all of the parts are cut yourself. If you have to make a cannon, you will turn it yourself. Another school of thought is I can purchase cannons and still have a scratch built model. I don't have to make my own line. I can purchase line and it will still be a scratch built model. Other people will say scratch building is what you want to make it, in that if you start with a kit but substantially change it, you're essentially doing a scratch build. Consequently, as you can tell, there's a great deal of controversy as to what exactly constitutes a true scratch built model. The reason this gets to be important is that some people think that building from a kit is like building from a plastic model kit. Nothing could be further from the truth. Basically, all of the ship models you see in this collection are done with what's called the plank on frame or plank on bulkhead method of construction. First, a keel is laid, usually put in some sort of a clamp, and then the bulkheads or the ribs are added perpendicular to that keel to form the basic skeleton of the ship itself. Once that is thoroughly dried, sometimes a deck is put on. Usually laths are then laid on the side, one on each side, one at a time, in pairs to make sure that one lath doesn't pull the entire structure off to the side. All of these laths are laid down the side of the ship until the entire hull is enclosed with these wooden strips. Then a deck is put on. Very often the deck is also made of individual pieces of wood laid on top of what we call a false deck, or a thin piece of veneer or plywood that will allow the planking to stick to it. What I tend to do is what is known as kit bashing. When I obtain a particular kit, I usually will then research the original ship as much as possible. A classic example of this is a ship, unfortunately, that is not here in the display, but the HMS Beagle, which was Darwin's ship that he took to the Galapagos Islands in his discovery and revelations dealing to the origins of man. The kit that I obtained was really nothing more than a bastardization of the HMS Bounty kit, relabeled the HMS Beagle. Any relationship between what the Beagle looked like and the kit that I had was purely coincidental. Consequently, after a great deal of research, I was able to use the frames and the keel with major modifications to all of them to then build a ship very similar to the HMS Beagle. In fact, when I got done, I took the ship and took photographs of it and then blanked out everything from the waterline down and compared it to contemporary drawings that were done during the voyages of exploration of the HMS Beagle. And I was amazed at how closely my model followed those particular drawings of the original ship. Some of the models in this collection are in fact directly from a kit without much bashing of any sort, other than things that I realized were not correct nautically. That usually involved rigging errors, things of that sort. For example, foot ropes. Foot ropes were not introduced onto the ships until the early to mid 1700s. Up until that point, sailors literally hung on the yards to furl sails. Foot ropes on ships earlier than that are incorrect. So if you look at, for example, the Vasa or the Mary Rose, neither of those ships have foot ropes on the yards. But later ships, like the Victory or the Constitution, do have those foot ropes on the yards. Finally, if you would like more information about the construction of these ships, there are many references available, but I have also provided to the library a couple of discs of photographs of many of these ships during their construction, literally from the day the keel was laid until the case is put on the ship. These may be interesting to look at if you have the time to do so. Please enjoy the exhibit.